Welcome to episode 3 of the Volvo Rally build. What you're looking at here is one of my the donor car that I saved all of the body panels off of, trunk, all that. Hindsight being 2020, I wish I'd held on to the entire shell, because then I could have actually used it for this horrible roof job that you're about to witness. Yeah, it's just gonna be a speed run, and I'll give you a play-by-play and some important spots of where things really went sideways. But good news is this thing does actually have paint on it now, so we've got that going for me. And getting to the point where I'm about to start putting it back together. So I'm gonna do a quick rundown of all this, and then I'll upload hopefully some new clips. All right. So when I started welding this thing in, it bowed in. I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. In this previous little clip there, I was trying to pry it back out because I thought it would just simply spring back out. Clearly I was wrong. So I stopped, did some research, and I'm like, alright, I'll shrink it, it's oil canned. And watching it sped up, you can see where it all goes so wrong, but when I was there in person, I hadn't really realized it. Right here is where I should have stopped and just not done a single thing more to it. But I kept going, and you'll see what happens. So as I was going through and editing this, you could actually see it happen as well as you're seeing it now. The shrinking was working. It was tightening the metal, it was bringing it up a little bit, but at the end of the day, it was welded in place in a bow because I didn't brace it while I was welding it. So it had that shape. There's no bringing it back, which I didn't really realize at the time. I was just like, oh, I'll shrink it, make it better. So if I had not done that, it would have been a lot easier to just pry it out, shim it a little bit, and it would have retained most of the shape I wanted. But instead, I ended up with what I got. Just a long series of poor decisions and bad mistakes. That being said, now in the process of supporting on these bands that I've welded in place, try to get a little bit of that shape back into the roof, and then I can finally start filling and priming and hopefully get this thing painted soon. Alright. Alright, got the straps welded in. It's far from pretty, but it's way better than it was. I can live with this. At least it's not a giant pit in the roof. So I'm going to work on doing a little bit of cleaning, removing some sound deadening from the firewall and such, and then I'm going to start bondoing this up. Alright. What's up, guys? Finally got the Bondo work done on the roof of the car, and now I am obviously not in the normal location, getting ready to do some paint work, getting everything prepped up. Haven't been super good about documenting all of the cleaning that's been done to the engine bay, the roll cage, everything. It's really not that interesting to watch anyway, so I'm going to work on the nitty gritty here, and then hopefully once I get to paint day, I can be able to take a little bit of time and actually document that stuff. So I didn't really record any of the priming cleaning process for the cage and the body or the interior, just because I was bouncing all over the place and working on stuff, and I've got a lot of respect for people that make these YouTube channels now, because it is time consuming shooting footage as well as trying to finish a project. So anyway, I'm just touching in here. The way it is right now is completely painted the cage, the interior, trunk, and engine bay. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. There's some imperfections, of course. I didn't, it's not a show car. I'm not going to try wasting time making it look like that. So it's quick and dirty, but I feel pretty good about it. I mean, considering the fact that I've never laid paint on a car or bare metal with a gun before, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. There's not really a lot of runs. I used an epoxy primer on it, and then went back through and hit it with the Krylon, and it looks good. I like it. It looks clean. It's bright, but it's not obnoxious, like a straight white would be. This is that Ford gray. So where I'm at now is I'm going to start cleaning up the hood and all the doors and all that, get them attached, and finish up doing body work. So there are little patches, like where the bump strip used to be on the doors. Here, I can show you. So where the bump strips used to be, I took those off. There's chrome trim going all the way around all the doors and all that. I just took it off. It's unnecessary. I didn't really like the way it looked anyway. And then also when I do the windows, I'm going to put them over where that was and screw it on, at least for the backs. So I'm going to get everything cleaned up as much as I can while it's off, reattach everything, start doing my little bit of finished Bondo work, start scuffing the paint, and then hopefully I'll have this thing brand new color by Sunday. Alright, so we got the primer on. I didn't get any footage of that. I'm not going to videotape painting it because just all the overspray and everything, and it's really tight confines. I can't get a wide enough angle to really show it anyway. You guys know what painting a car looks like if you're watching anything like this right now anyway. So, prime is on. It looks pretty good, considering what it is. I'm pretty happy with it. It's one color. I didn't have to go through and paint the whole car, or prime the whole car, that is. But I just kind of felt better about doing it that way. You can see I missed a few little light spots in there, but I just felt better getting a nice coat of primer on the whole thing. Make sure you get nice adhesion, at least as good as possible, and just have a blank slate. So that's where I'm at. I'm getting ready to mix it up right now. It's getting warmer in here. I kicked the heat up a little bit to hopefully get a nice dry on this, and yeah. See you back after it's done. Alright, so it's all painted up. It's got some weak spots, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. For what it is, it'll work just fine. It definitely is a little closer to, I guess you would say, Swedish blue, or whatever that's going to be called. It's supposed to be reflex. feel like it's lighter than that, but depending on what angle you look at it at, like it's showing up on camera a little lighter, I feel, than it really is. But either way, it's all one color now. And now it's on to the next step.